In this episode, I had honor to talk with founder of liftosaur. Liftosaur is a weightlifting planner and tracking application which is generating right now $5,000 a month. And in this episode, we're going to discuss development, marketing, monetization, and also the community building. Enjoy. What's your background? Like how it all started? Did you pay someone to do it or you made it just by yourself?
No, I'm a software engineer, so it's not like my bread and butter. Making the app is actually easy. That's the easy part.
Oh,
So I've been like a software engineer for 20 years, something like that. So yeah, that was like kind of a natural thing. I wanted to do something that would be like my own, I guess, for a while. Um, and yeah, just like happened naturally.
and when did you build it? Like when was the initial release?
I started in 2020.
2020. And okay.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to make it? Like that specific app?
Well, I'm still making it. It's
Okay,
like it's
so
an ongoing process, right? But it started like as a pet project. So basically, I kind of got into lifting weights also in like about 2019, I think. And so I was really into Haskell. Haskell is like a programming language that's has this kind of aura of being a very complex programming language. And there was like a guy, what's his name, Michael Snowman or Snowman, something like that. And he had like a blog about Haskell and kind of, I was reading it. And there was also like a series of blog posts that he did separately. And they were like about lifting. So basically, there was like one blog post that was titled "Why I Lift," and he was like, "Oh, this is like great for health. This is great for like your back and stuff. Especially like if you're a software engineer, this is like I don't know, just makes your life way easier because like we have a very sedentary lifestyle, etc." And he promoted this app. Well, not promoted really, but just like mentioned, oh, if you want to start, there's like a great app called Strong Lifts that's like super great for beginners. So I downloaded it and I tried it out. It's like super simple.
yeah.
You have only three um like exercises. They're all compound lifts and just like could do them like three a day, 3 times a week. And yeah, despite the fact that they promote this app, this is basically all you need for lifting. It's really kind of a very beginner level program. So you usually exhaust it like in about like 6 months. It's a linear progression program, so that means you need to increase your weight every single time when you like successfully finish all sets. So it's 5 by 5, so you do 5 sets by 5 reps. If you're like successfully did that, next time you do like 5 pounds more. Um, so this is great and like, but you cannot really increase it like infinitely like that. Like after about 6 months, it starts to become really challenging to keep increasing the weight. And at that time, usually you need to like switch to some another program. And I was like, do I do next, right? So I went to Reddit, and there's like plenty of programs on Reddit. There's like our fitness subreddit, which is like really great. They have a really nice wiki, and they listed all the different programs there. But I was already hooked to the Strong Lifts because the Strong Lifts app is really great. It's like super simple and it increases the weights for you. So like I really wanted that. So I switched to another program called 531, and I found another app. It's kind of buggy, but it did the job. Basically, same thing, like increase the weights and stuff. But that app was designed only for that program. Then I got tired of that program, wanted to try another one. Couldn't find the app for that specific program. There was like few just uh, like trackers when you log what you did, but they wouldn't like increase the weights according to the like program logic. Um, so like, all right, maybe I could like write my own. And I wrote a very bare bones, simple app where you can just like tap the squares to finish like the sets, similar to like strong lifts. And then it like just like hard coded the logic of the program that I wanted. And so I did that. And I was like, would be nice to basically have the app that we could like implement any possible program and script it in any way I want. And surprisingly, there was like no such app ever built for by anybody. Uh, so I started to do that, and that was like 2020. It was COVID, so it was kind of boring, right? We couldn't like go anywhere. Everybody was like shut down at home, and yeah, so kind of that was like my I guess some this was nice to have some hobby and just do something. And I built like a gym in my garage, so I was like working out there. And this is like I guess how it started.
And did you build it just by yourself, right? Solo, it was.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yep.
it was like your first app, or did you like launch something before, let's say on Google Play or the iOS store?
I'm a web engineer, so I'm not like a mobile engineer. So this is my first app.
Oh, okay.
And it even started like as a web app. So there's a way basically to do apps on mobile, but like as a web app. It's called progressive web apps,
Hmm.
PWA. So you can basically write like a web page, and then you install it to the home screen on your phone. The problem with that it's very limited because like you cannot really access all the native stuff that you could do on the phone, right? Like so, no camera, no file system, no push notifications, and all that stuff. And also, it's hard to make people install it because nobody knows what the heck is like PWA. And
Hmm.
then they're like, oh, you need to go to like you need to open it like on your Safari browser, and then you like need to tap to like share icon, and then you need like there's like a bottom sheet opens up, and then there's somewhere there there's like add to home screen, so you tap it, and then it shows up in your like home screen as like regular app, and you use it like as a regular app. So because like this is like nobody knows how to do that, it's really hard to convince people to install your app. So,
Hmm.
and you don't want that like as a new business, right? Or like a new like indie developer, because like you want to use people's habits so they can know how to like, I don't know, go to App Store, download something. If they don't know that, they're not gonna install it like at all. Just like, why?
And thank you. And then like I maybe I missed it. Like how long did it actually take you to build the MVP? Like from the start when you start
Mm.
making it to the like let's say release.
So I released it, I think, in a few months, like maybe
Hmm.
like 6 months or something. It was like still kind of bare bone. Um, And I think I launched it like on Product Hunt. I posted about it on Hacker News. I had maybe like 2 likes
Hmm.
on each. So nobody saw it and just like got ignored and went into void of like
So
this
there were like no
Hacker
downloads
News.
when you launched it on Google Play or let's say iOS store. I don't know what is the progress like. Did you had it only just for the Google Play first, or like only just as a web app, or like how you had it?
I only had it like as a web app.
Okay.
So I promoted it on, yeah, so I tried to like launch it on Product Hunt. Nobody kind of downloaded, like, I think like I had one comment, oh, this is nice. Then I tried to launch it on Hacker News. I also had like 2 upvotes, no comments, and it went to the void. There's like a new section on Hacker News where it's like really quickly fills in and just like it goes somewhere like into the void and disappears. Um, and then I posted it on Reddit. I posted it, what was the subreddit? Interesting things, or something like that. Basically, when you find something interesting on the internet, like
Hmm.
usually some free tools, and back then it was like a free app. Um, so I posted it there. It kind of there's a lot of people like saw it, and then it started to kind of ramp up, and I saw like likes coming in and in and in.
Okay.
Uh, Comments started like to fill in, and then it got shut down by moderators. I don't remember. There was like some reason that uh, what was the reason? I actually don't remember, but for some reason they kind of banned me forever on that subreddit pretty quickly in like about 2 hours. So this is how kind of it all stopped. Um, so I still didn't have any downloads. It was like kind of hard to actually know if I had like any downloads because again, it's a web app. I
Hmm.
don't have like any analytics. So it went on and on for a few years. Then I changed my job. Um, I'm still working like a full time as a software engineer.
Hmm.
And I got kind of bored on this like new job after a while, after like ramping up. I was like, all right, maybe I could like make a business out of my old fitness app that I was using mostly myself.
Oh, sorry,
So I
but
did,
it was still just a web app. It was still a web
yeah,
app.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, it
It
still
was still a
wasn't
web app.
pushed. Yeah, no Google Play, no iOS yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, continue, please. Thank you.
And I was like, all right, maybe I could like make a business out of it. So I still have it like as a web app. Well, long story short, it's still a web app, but like now it's wrapped into like native thin
Yeah.
wrappers. So I built those like thin wrappers on Kotlin and then Swift. Is essentially just like it launches like a full screen app. It full screen renders a web view,
Mm-hmm.
and then it loads my like index HTML and JavaScript, and it like shows the app. So it's still like that. So I did that. I added subscriptions. So I decided that mostly gonna be free, but I gonna add subscriptions for push notifications. So like when the rest timer kind of is triggered, then you will have like a push notification if your app is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that you need to go to do like another set. And then graphs and plates calculator, like essentially it shows like how many plates and what plates you need to load in your barbell to get to a specific weight. So I thought this is going to be like my three like premium features. And I looked into like other apps, what they're usually charging. Um, there's like a lot of competitors in this like fitness kind of area, right? So most of them charge from I think like $3 per month to $30 per month. So like a huge range. And so I decided to go with like $5 per month. And then like I was like the yearly should be like slightly cheaper, right? Than like 12 month um like a packet. So I did like 40, I think, for yearly. And I went with that. So I had like $5 and $40.
Okay.
Um, and so again, like I started to promote it on Reddit, just posted in some niche like weightlifting communities. I also tried to post like well, not post even like commenting on our fitness, which is like a huge subreddit. There's had like 10 million subscribers,
Yes.
but I got quickly banned there. So don't do that. Basically, kind of your niche community is like 50K or less. This is like your bread and butter. This is where you want to like start promoting. And it slowly started like to build up. None of those like posts were very successful, but just like kind of I kept doing that and it's like slowly started to build up. People kind of started to download the app and kind of liked it because I guess it had like one so it's another fitness tracker, right? There's like millions of fitness trackers on the App Store. It has like a unique twist that you can write your scripts like in a special language to define how your program will behave. Like if you, I don't know, hit those reps and like I don't know, difference between completed reps and required reps is like 3, then increase the weight by like 5 pounds. So you can script all that stuff with like a simple scripting language. And that was like something fresh, not like other fitness trackers have. So I guess that was also one of the things that why people decided to try it out.
I even think that this is like combination of things. The first thing also is the design of the app. I don't know if you designed it by yourself, but with the name like liftosaur, with the kind of like the logo, but many of the other apps were like copycats of each other. You know, like very similar, everything how it behaved. And again, like I'm lifting too, so I know those apps. I tried them all, and for me also it was that it was very beginners in Realm. And then when I even checked your app, that you have option to connect it with the you have option to connect it also with the web app, your account, right? So if I have it in Google Play, let's say
Yeah.
the app, I can use it also in web app, and then like set up the script there if I want to.
Yep.
So it's like that's very good.
Yep.
And the next question I have here is that what was the hardest technical problem you had to solve? Like if you had any.
Um, oh, a lot. I mean, the whole programming language basically was pretty hard to do. So essentially, kind of the core of the app is a thing called liftosaur.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a scripting it's like a mix of Markdown and JavaScript essentially. So you define your like lifting programs as like a plain text, right? So you write squat slash 3 by 8 slash like 120 pounds, meaning you need to do like 3 sets of 8 reps with 120 pounds. And then you like can define like a progress block. You write like slash progress, and then in like curly braces, you define the logic. Um, and this is like a essentially kind of a programming language that's implemented. It's very simple. It's very bare bone. It only has like numbers and what weights, basically like pounds and kilograms as types, but still kind of a pretty. And it's all implemented in JavaScript. So it was like interesting. I never did any of the programming languages before, so it was like a quiet, I guess. Um, Endeavor to figure out how to do that and like how to write all those like parsers. And then I kind of found what are like parser generators and how do you actually kind of evaluate all that logic. So that was pretty complex. Another, I think, problem that I actually screwed up just like maybe last month when my people, like my users started to like lose workouts and like programs. And I was like, what the hell is going on? That was like super scary. The problem of synchronization of state between like servers and like
Mm-hmm.
basically clients. So I really wanted that in my app, you would never see like a loading screen. So
Uh-huh.
everything should happen instantly. That means your state should be fully local. So everything you do, and
Mm-hmm.
especially like if you want your app works offline, everything should be local, right? So it has the local state, but it also needs to sync to the server, and it also needs to sync to the like web client, and there's also a separate web editor. So you need to like synchronize that state between all those nodes. So there's a like a solution for that, like generally in the industry, it's called CRDT. I think conflict free something something like data structures, which means you can basically easily like merge them in any order, and it's going to be like conflict free. But like because like my app is already so established and like I don't know, there's like 100,000 lines of code already written. Um, it's really hard to get and like migrate my whole app into this like new, very different paradigm. So
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, maybe I'll try to write something just for this app, some kind of think of some algorithm that would like synchronize those things between machines. And this is like where I screwed up because the reality is like it's a really hard problem. And I think of some kind of versioning system where like every single field in the state would be like has its own version, and then basically the field with a bigger version wins. But there's like also the kind of where I screwed up was the migration between the old way of synchronizing, which was like very bare bone, and this new one. And then like there were like clients with the still like with the old version of the app and the clients with the new version of the app. And then all that stuff started like to synchronize, and there was like all the different bugs that started to happen. So I guess that was like maybe it was really hard problem, but also was like where I screwed up, I guess, the most. And kind of my users I guess were most unhappy with like this kind of specific release.
Oh, okay. So to kind of like understand it, that first you had a web app that
Mhm,
kind of like it was just like I don't know, asleep, that wasn't happening much. Did you didn't track any data like if people were actually using it or no? And
mhm.
then when was the launch for the iOS and Google Play?
In 2023.
2023. So it was like 2 years back.
Yeah.
Okay, and for that, because you tried before with the product hunt on kind of like the Reddit, but right now you gotta have the app. So how the first initial users came there? Like, did you? I know that you said that you shared it in kind of like the smaller subreddits, like let's say
Mhm.
50K, 100K, and that initial worked, or maybe like it was like organical search from Google Play and iOS.
I don't think I got much from like App Store or Google Play generally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, most like if you look into the like analytics on iOS, right? people mostly come from like web referral. There's like a
Uh-huh.
sources where people came from. So App Store is not that high. Highest is web referral. So people mostly come from the landing page. So I have
Mm-hmm.
this like liftosaur.com landing page. But also I don't have that much traffic organically from Google. I only have like maybe 4,000 clicks per month, I
Okay.
think, which is not super high. So my majority of my traffic is coming from Reddit. Um,
Okay. Mm-hmm. And is
and
it
I,
no? Yeah. Continue, please.
yeah, so all those like small communities, right? So I posted there. I also created my own like Liftosaur subreddit,
Mm-hmm.
and I started to post like all the updates there, and, like sometimes like questions, and people started to like post feedback and also kind of converted in like a support channel when they asked me questions and I answer them there. So somehow I think like I'm still not sure how exactly, but from all those like different places, um, from subreddit, people come to liftosaur.com, or they just like search for Liftosaur directly in App Store, Google Play, and kind of go from there. Um, People also pretty often mention Liftosaur, like recommend me like a weightlifting app. And sometimes people mention, oh, Liftosaur is like a great app. And I think that's also kind of the source of, I guess, the traffic. Also, it's super hard to attribute, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like where people like saw my like mentioning of the app and then they typed Liftosaur in like an app store and installed it. So it's all kind of combined like an organic. And I assume that they mostly go from Reddit because like there's nowhere else kind of the app is mentioned that much. But I don't have like a super like solid attribution for that.
Okay, so no kind of like TikTok videos or Instagram posts with the reels or like YouTube, something, nothing like that. That you
I
don't have
I
anything.
I didn't have my well, maybe I'm not that good or maybe I was not that consistent with like
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. Also, once I hired some like SMM agency
Mm-hmm.
in Ukraine, and they posted every day for like 2 months. They even had like an actor, some pretty girl, like she was like in the gym doing something and then like promoting like Liftador at the end somehow, or just basically doing some like fun videos. But it never kind of pan out for some reason. So I had like maybe hundreds of views, and but I never had like any viral
Yeah,
video.
you need kind of variety because the conversion rate is there. Like people not there to kind of like use the apps directly. They're like consume. So it's much
Yeah.
different when someone actually like writes on Google that what is the best lifting app, and they like know how I search for things that I just like write Reddit in the end of the Google search. That automatically I
Mm-hmm.
have the Reddit listing, and then again, plenty of people they actually like look on the comments of others, and I think this is like very great like a referral marketing strategy in a moment when you have such a good app that other people are using it and they're actually like replying to other posts in those like fitness subreddits and they're recommending your app. So
Mm-hmm.
but for that like your app needs to be good. It's like they need to have this kind of
Yeah.
trustworthy, you know, that they love it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think this much helps that you actually have the community where people can come. And it's also in Reddit. So we are still within the ecosystem. So we don't have like, you know, the Facebook group or something where they will have to go. It's still anonymous and they can still come there and ask questions. And people see the history, the activity. And I think that helps like tremendously. And even then,
Makes
like
sense.
people are going to, they're not going to be straight up like give you 1 star review, for example, you know, because I saw that on Google Play, if I'm not mistaken, it was like few days when I checked, you didn't have any 1 star reviews there.
I think I have one. Like
Yeah.
it's basically or like 2 star and it just says greedy and that's it. But like I had a few. Basically, when sometimes when there's a bug, right? People
Yeah.
got really frustrated and they goes like, "This is shit. I have widescreen white like 1 star." But usually, if you reply, please like write me to my like email info@liftosaur.com and I help you out. Like I don't know, 90% of the chance they will write. and then you resolve the problem, and then they change. Usually, they change their review. So I
Yeah.
had a few of like 1, 2 stars because of the bug, but like once I helped those people, they changed their like to 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah, I see right now, like January 2023, exactly as you say, Regal, now you grabs, they want like $50 per year, and you have like only one star review, and then like two star, but you even 1 2 star, but you replied to both. It's like you weren't like ignoring it, but it's like, but it's like it's insane to think that someone is going to make so much work. And then it's like, I'm going to give it open source for free forever, and I'm never going to ask money for it. It's like, why? Yeah, it's so okay. The question I have next one is like, how much did you actually invest into marketing? Did you invest anything, or it was like, as you mentioned, like everything organic? You mentioned the kind of like the company in Ukraine that was helping you, right?
Hmm.
And did you like
Yeah.
pay?
So yeah, I paid them, think about 1,700 a month. Yeah, but that kind of the ROI for that was like pretty much nothing. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody like downloaded the app. So that was a pretty unsuccessful experience. What helped a lot, well, there were like few paid strategies I tried. Some of them kind of worked. But there was also one like organic strategy that worked incredibly well. So there are fitness influencers, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
have like very popular programs that everybody is like following. So one is like strong lifts. That was like a very popular beginner program that I also started with. Um, and there's another one called 531 from Jim Wendler, uh, also extremely popular. Um, and there's another guy, Cody Lefevre, and he has those like programs called GCCL.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Continue.
I think it's general. I forgot what it stands for. Um, Maybe nothing. It's just like some random abbreviation. But so those like GCCL programs are also pretty popular. And I contacted that guy on Reddit. I was like, "Do you mind if I add all your programs to my app?" And he was like, dude, I'm a gym owner, so gym is like my kind of main interest and kind of my main source of income. He's actually kind of having the I think the highest altitude gym in North America,
Mm-hmm.
so somewhere in Colorado. So he was like, yeah, sure, whatever, like do whatever you want. My programs are free. I was like, all right, this is great. So I implemented all his programs in my app, and also then I posted in this GCCL subreddit. It's a pretty niche subreddit, I think like 20,000 people or something like that. But that was like incredibly successful because again, like those all those people, they needed a really nice app to track the programs. So I was like, this is the app you can track all those programs there. Mostly it's free. And that was like a huge success because then people started to recommend this app within this subreddit over and over again. And it kind of became uh, very popular. So there's like another of my competitor called Boostcamp, which is way more popular fitness app. And they actually have like official, I think, partnership with many different like influencers. Um, but it was like, I think, a pretty big win for me to basically become as popular as this Boostcamp app on that subreddit. Pretty much organically. I just like posted it like once, and then people started to recommend it over and over again.
Oh, it was like very nice strategy because you actually took the fan base already that was following certain kind of like exercising programs for
Yep.
something. And what you did, you're like, okay, I'm going to give it to you in much better kind of like design and functionality. But also you're going to have options to add like multiple other things like adding the, like the reps, scripting, and even more advanced for something that you already liked. So that was
Hmm.
nice kind of like the take on it. And nice, that was good strategy. Much better comparing to the TikTok one, right? It's like this
Yep.
actually made sense, and you had to actually pay for it, or it was like completely free for
No,
using those programs.
he was like, yeah, use them, whatever, for free. I don't care.
Yeah, and this is the thing is like there is this saying that all you have to ask, right? is that you can just like
Yep.
ask and the doors will open. But yes, of course, it needs to be strategically, it needs to make sense to ask for something. But and even like the marketing can be also like, at least what I know is that many of those kind of like the lifting, they have got other friends, they can like recommend the app primarily in like in real life, right? Then not only that you can get a recommendation just from, but also in the gyms directly. So that is
Mm-hmm.
impossible, like when they're asking like what app you're using, etc. So that can be
Yep.
also great. So
Yep.
okay, so when we look on the ROI, the Reddit was kind of like the best for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that,
Yep.
yeah. And okay,
Um,
yeah, continue.
I also tried Reddit ads,
Mm-hmm.
like paid ads. So those were moderately successful. I had like a lot of traffic, but not that many clicks, and people were converting. But I think I had like the price for like cost for per install was around 70 cents or 80
Mm-hmm.
cents,
Mm-hmm.
something around that. Uh, I think what worked really well on the kind of on the paid ads kind of surface was Google Ads. Google Ads were working pretty well. I think I had um, so initially, so basically how it started, decided like, okay, I want to try Google Ads, and I set up a campaign, and I launched the campaign, and then I went to bed, and then like in the morning I woke up, went to check the results, and I saw like a huge traffic coming, like, and the price for install was about like 7 cents, something like that. So extremely cheap, but all that traffic was from India.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so like, all right, maybe I will not get like that many paying users from there. So I decided to limit my traffic to US and Europe. And then it still was like, I think around 15 cents per install. But all the traffic this time was like from Portugal for some reason. I was like, all right, maybe I should like try to just like US, Canada, and UK. And that was like, I think this time the price per install was around 40 something cents, 42, which is actually not that bad. But cost per click was about 10 cents. So I have this running for a while. Probably need to refresh this already. But this is like probably the best paid kind of ad strategy is Google Ads. I haven't tried Meta yet, so this is like what I'm going to try maybe this week. Start like running some ads on Instagram and Facebook, etc. So I'm curious like how well it's gonna go.
Okay, so you right now run Google Ads. Right now they're active, the ads,
Yeah,
right? And
yep,
you have targeted the search in the moment when someone like searches for, let's say, lifting like a lifting app on Google search. There is like your app pops up, or
yeah. Well, the keywords are very precise. I'm basically whenever somebody's trying to search for like GCCL, this like program that I added
mm-hmm.
of that
Okay.
kind of guy, or like 531 or strong lifts or like very specific kind of program names, at that point I my ad should show up. So
Okay,
the
and
keywords are very, very targeted.
okay, they're like okay, like something like for long tail or just like specific. It's not like broad like lift weight app, right? It's more
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
more precise. And
Yep.
then it's like, do you track the actually the downloads and if they are converting to customers? If they are converting
I
to paid, like
have,
can you do
yeah,
it?
yes. I'm using, so there's a like a few kind of intermediate companies that stand between like the ad providers like Google or Meta and like apps or Google Play, whatnot. Like basically with like between your app and your ad provider, uh, the companies like AppsFlyer, Adjust, Branch, I think. So what they do, they provide the kind of they help you to set up the attribution. So you would know that if that person clicked on that link or like that ad and then installed the app and went inside and like for example finished a workout or bought the subscription. So you would know that, and you would basically have that information to feed back into your ad engine.
Okay.
So it would like learn basically on that information and show this ad to very specific like cohorts of audience.
Okay.
Um, so I kind of have this set up. It For some reason I couldn't figure out how to do that for iOS yet, because iOS after iOS 14 they changed the how it works, and because like of the privacy push, and now they're providing the anonymized kind of information, so you don't know for like a specific device or specific user if they actually clicked, installed, and then
Mm-hmm.
purchased or like completed a workout somewhere in within the app. Apple kind of collects on that information and then in bulk, anonymized, sends it back to the like ads engine. So you don't know like actually the specific user who clicks somewhere is just like all sent back in bulk to, for example, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't figure out how to set up yet, but for Google and for Android, it's way easier. So I have this um, set up. So I know that, for example, it costs like cents per click and then 40 cents per install. So I know the conversion between install and click, and also I know the conversion between install and finishing in a workout, signing up, and purchasing a subscription. The problem with
Okay.
all that stuff that my subscription is super optional. You don't really have to do that like to use the app. And I guess that hurts the conversion a lot because you don't have like a very strict paywall.
Oh, so you don't have like, like to continue, you need to pay
Yeah,
for, or you have to wait for like 2 hours
yeah,
to. So you have like always, but it's good. It's like it's I at least myself, I don't like when someone like pushes me into something. It's like this kind of
yeah.
like aggressive monetization marketing technique that is in a realm of manipulation. That it's not like if you come like go and buy it, and what I feel is that more people have. Like it's more healthy for the app in my opinion, right? It's like it's more kind of like not in a pushy way. So yeah, and that
Yes, but
yeah, continue.
measuring is hard. Measuring is hard, right? Because like essentially after installation, like you can specify the window, I think up to 7 days. And if within those 7 days people will make a purchase, then it's attributed to the ad. If it's
Mm-hmm.
like after 7 days, then it's not attributed to the ad. If like your purchase is very optional, people may wait for like a month before they decide to
Aha.
buy something.
Okay.
So you don't know exactly like what. It's kind of hard to optimize for subscription because subscription is optional.
Yeah, and there is the thing is that to buy when it's optional, the person needs to build kind of like a relationship with the app. At least that's my own experience, right? But because when you are
Yep.
not kind of like, I know it because I'm like a full-time YouTuber, and I know that in a moment when I give it option to persons to kind of like click on the link or like do the cooperation, it's working way less if I say, there is a link, click on it, and you're gonna find, if I just like tell it to person in the video, just like go check it out, more people are going to check it out comparing if
Hmm.
I just give it like if I'm going to have it down there in the description link and maybe someone is going to click on it. So that is at least my own experience for just from like different aspect, but I kind of get it because like people we are bombarded with information from everywhere and kind of like for the
Hmm.
attention seeking. So therefore, yeah, I get it completely that the you are in a you are building a way for the kind of like the relationship that people are going to use it at one point they like it so much they're going to pay for it, or if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, right?
Yep. Well, there's also free trials, so you can try it out.
Oh, okay, that's
So
good.
my hope that people will just out of curiosity will basically tap free trial. They're gonna try it out, and if they don't like, they will kind of unsubscribe. And I really kind of, as a user, right? I really like the like Google and Apple subscriptions. Is that there you can easily just like buy something, right? Or like start the free trial, immediately unsubscribe to not forget to do
Hmm.
that like after the trial period, but you still have the trial period. So you still like use it for within like 2 months, and then your subscription stops. You lose like all the premium features, or like, all right, I actually like them. So you subscribe a game for real this time, and you keep using it. So I think this is like really great and healthy
Hmm.
for like user experience. But yeah, it's maybe not that great for like as a business owner, because like a lot of people will gonna try it out and just like not continue. But maybe this is good. Like, why do we want to like charge people if they don't really use the product?
Yeah. And okay, so when you have the Google Ads, it links directly to the app. It doesn't go to your site, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it goes for the app, and therefore it tracks if in within the 7 days if the person converts for it.
Hmm.
And okay, we will go to the monetization now. And what are the results for it? Is like when you because right now you said that like when I read that you made like 5K a month right now from it. Is that
Hmm.
how much it attributes to the Google Ads?
I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, yeah.
That's the problem. uh, a little bit. I know that's a little bit. So this I use Apps Flyer as like intermediate between like the ads engine and my app. And I only recently added actually kind of reporting revenue to it. But majority of the revenue comes from organic. So organic
Okay.
converts way, way, way better than ads. Ads, I think, well, I don't frankly remember the numbers right now. Um, but yeah, like for example, yesterday I think I had like about $200 coming from organic and nothing from ads.
And how much the ads cost on daily basis right
Uh,
now?
I think I'm spending $15 a day for now.
15, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
and that's like clicks with the installs, or like all everything together.
It's I think it's targeted on clicks.
Odd clicks.
So
Okay.
the goal of the campaign is clicks, but it gives you like the price per click and like average price per click and per install.
Okay, and out of those $15 a day that you pay, how much you're getting installs?
About 40.
40 installs a day per $15, right?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
30 or 40, something like that.
Okay, and you don't know if it's generating revenue.
No. So it's kind of running just because like why not?
Yeah.
But there's a way to do that way better than I do, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of set up really nice kind of attribution and report revenue back, and like it's just like something that I still need to do, but just didn't get to this yet.
And have you thought about like also doing kind of like on YouTube? Because like I'm a full-time YouTuber, I focus on kind of like this evergreen content because what I found out is I was even making videos for the lifting apps, like reviews, etc. And there
Hmm.
was like this guy, I don't know if you know him, like Sam Ovens, and he was talking about, yeah, he was like in consulting industry, so completely different industry, of course, but something I like that he was sharing that he was running Facebook ads, and they were like
Hmm.
spending money. They were getting the kind of like the people on the side conversion, etc. But he found out that actually his YouTube videos were generating way more comparing to because it was like all organic, right? People like searching for it, etc. Just
Yep.
something to think about because it's like you can so play around it that we can just like see the organic works so good. If it actually kind of like the feels the niche, the market, right? If something, because if you would be do another meditation app, right? It's like where are you gonna put it? You need kind of like this edge over others. It's like in what
Hmm.
way my app is unique? In what way my kind of like what I offer can help someone? And
Yep.
that's what you do. I feel.
So fun story. Um, about like a year ago, I think there was a guy who made a video comparing different lifting apps. I think four of them, and liftosaur was one of them. And then any other my marketing efforts, like I don't know, combined, at least like all the paid ones. Um, so that was like a I think hour-long video, and he was really nice about liftosaur and how powerful it is, and like he showed some features, like unique feature, like for example, how you could like see the volume per muscle group when you're like writing your program. He was like really excited about that. And I think that video, like overall, since so it's almost like year and a half old already, right? And generated maybe like 20,000 views. But like out of those 20,000 views, I think I had like at least like 20 people just telling me, "Oh, I just saw this video and I came by and found this app and this is so great."
Mhm.
So that simple video that some guy just made, he had like maybe 1,000 subscribers. Um, just like made such a huge impact. If like about 20 people told me that they came from this video, there's probably like, I don't know, 10 times more who actually kind of didn't tell me that they came from that video, but just like silently came from there, like downloaded the app and started using it. So yeah, video and YouTube is huge apparently. Um, so right now I'm kind of trying to finish the redesigning of the app.
Mhm.
There's like some last pieces still need to do. And after that, like my next kind of marketing strategy is to start like a YouTube channel. I have one that's like super old, and just like start building educational videos. Because another problem with the app that's like it has like a very steep learning curve, which is
Mhm.
helpful for with retention, right? Because after people invested time to learn that stuff, they're like, I already invested time to learn that stuff, so I don't want to like just like bail out so easily. I want to kind of keep using it. So in a way, this is a retention mechanism, but also this is a way how a lot of people just like started to download it, try it out, couldn't figure out how to use it. And it's like, yeah, whatever, this is shit.
Yeah, and this is what I
Uh,
feel. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
so I think like just building all those um, like educational YouTube videos, and then maybe like making a bunch of shorts out of those YouTube videos, and maybe like redistributing them on TikTok and Instagram, maybe would be helpful. So this
Yeah,
is like my big thing, next big thing to try out, essentially.
yeah, like go for it because like I've been making money with tutorials for like 8 years right now, and I know
Mm,
everything about like I work with so many companies that it's kind of like exactly as you say, it's retention. Person comes to the app and it feels overwhelming, and now we
mhm,
are not used to the difficult stuff to be honest because we want to have everything fast, quick, like easy to learn, easy to use. And in a moment when they want to search for how to actually like use it on let's say on YouTube or like they come to Reddit, and if there would be just like a guide that you can make like a 30-minute guide on where you explain step by step how it works, the tips there, and just like every single week one long form video, and it's going to do magic because even those people there you are again like creating this deeper relationship that you are continue working with them. And what is also great, what I perceive is that, you know, when someone likes to exercise, so for example, I exercise also a lot, I'm not going to stop like, I know, I'm not going to do it for like 2 months, right? Is that when you are deep in it and you're like lifting, you want to progress, you want something to help you. So this is not like one time thing. So that's also really good, what I perceive.
yep.
And now also I have like, okay, how does the app makes money? This is like also very important question. So I looked, you don't have any ads like popping up 30-second ad there. So it's primarily the monthly subscription, or you have the kind of like all-time fee there too, or like how you monetize it.
So yeah, monthly, $5. Well, the prices are different across the world. So at some
Oh,
point, I decided I want to do like localized pricing, and I created this like. So apparently, it's hard to do for some reason in Google Play and App Store, but they have APIs, right? So you could
hmm.
use them to set the prices. So what I did, I set up the price and then I downloaded the GDP for each country. And then basically I compared with the GDP of the US. And this is basically I kind of making this multiplier of like what should be like the price. If this is like $5 in US, what should it be like, for example, in Poland? Um,
Okay.
so I created this like Google sheet with like 180 countries, um, and with all the GDPs and the prices. And then I have this like script that basically gets this CSV file and gets the prices out of it, and then like updates for all the 180 countries, specifically like on Google Play and App Store. So all the prices are different across the world. It's like ranging from $1 somewhere in India for like monthly subscription to $5 in US. Um, yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay. Yeah,
I have
continue.
monthly. Yeah, I have monthly, yearly, and lifetime. Surprisingly, lifetime is extremely popular. People
Yeah.
really like to buy
Okay.
lifetime. That was my surprise. Initially, I didn't have that, but there was like such a huge demand for it. I
Mm-hmm.
eventually added it, and then I kept increasing the price, but people still buying it. Like basically,
Okay.
initially it was like 540, I think 70 for lifetime, and then I increased it for to $80. Now I increased it to $100, and it's still continuing to be the most popular option. I
Okay.
mean, not the
So
most popular option, but it's like basically half of my revenue is from lifetimes.
okay. So let's dive into it because I like so many questions. So okay, half of the revenue, you say
Again,
half of the revenue is lifetime.
lifetime, yeah.
Okay. So on monthly basis. Okay. So the first question is it applies for the API for the kind of like the GDP or it's like $100 for all the countries?
No, it's still also localized pricing. So it's
Okay,
going to
but
be
when you increase it on the, let's say, on the US market for, let's say, $100, it's also increased for the other countries, right?
Mhm.
It's increased like by kind of like percentage or something like that.
Yep.
Like Alex Hormozy is like the entrepreneur, and he's showing this kind of like data that when you have like for example referrals and they come to consultation, and let's say when 80% are still okay with the price, they never kind of like say, oh my god, it's a little bit expensive, but they're all converting. Like you are asking cheap, you can go way more with the asking. That's like
Mhm.
interesting what you said right here is that even when you try to increase the price, people still paid for it. People still
Yep.
found a value in it. And do you see also what kind of countries are like having the best conversion? Do you see that there? Like for example,
Still
I don't know.
US.
Again?
Still US. I think kind of US is still kind of the biggest country, the biggest user base, and most kind of purchases are from US.
Yeah, and but it's also like this is not like Minecraft mobile game that people actually have money who are using the app. What I actually like think because like when they're like lifting weight, they're like investing to what they eat. They are kind of like they're not like children, right? Who are using it.
Yep.
Therefore, you can ask money there because they got the kind of like the money for it. And now I always like always thinking like the people who are asking the lifetime, right? And I always felt like, okay, but maybe it's going to end, right? Because in the moment when you wouldn't
Yep.
have the influx of new users coming to the app, therefore, like, who are going to pay for the monthly? So I'm curious about this, about on monthly basis, how many new people are coming to your app, if it's increasing, and yeah, okay, so let's start with that.
It's slowly increasing. So right now I have 4,000 monthly active users, a bit more than 4,000. And basically, this is how I also kind of can, I guess, predict my revenue. So about I get like about $1.2 monthly on average from
Mm-hmm.
like an active user.
Mm-hmm.
So if I bring in a user and they stay, on average, they're gonna bring me $1.2
Per month.
monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's slowly going up. I mean, of course it's like not super strict, right? It goes up and down. Um, but yeah, generally it kind of grows steadily. About I think 300 people like monthly active users. So this is not all the users. This is basically all the users who did at least one workout within the last month.
Okay, so that person gives you $1.2 per month on
Hmm.
average. Okay, and
Yep.
when it started, because like this is where you have right now the peak that is generating you 5K a month.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best month was like the last month,
Last month
not
it was
this
like
one.
around 5K or
Yeah, it was like 5.8, I think, something like that. This is after the Apple and Google cut.
oh, okay, so that's very good. So it's not like a revenue. I mean, like you still have to pay taxes and things like that, but
Yep.
still this is after the cut.
Yep.
What you're getting. Okay, and when you started like 2023, when it wasn't making any money, right? That you like released it.
Hmm.
You said it was like it's also pushed because you like insert the programs. If you can like remember, how was it in beginning? How much money it was making, and what was the gradual increase in the revenue?
it was frankly growing pretty steadily, just like very linear. So it was like I think it was adding maybe like 200 to 300 a month, something like that. So the growth was pretty steady and also kind of very in line with the like number of users.
Okay, so it was like number of users were growing, also the revenue was growing. I think the revenue went even further when you increase the price for the lifetime, right?
I don't know yet because like I just recently did that, so
Okay.
it probably I will see it like in the following months.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
we'll see. So, okay, and in when you like pushed it directly, it start to earn 200, $300 a month when you pushed it on Google Play and iOS Store, or there was like 2, 3 months until it start to get traction.
I actually don't remember what was like the revenue at the beginning. I also was not super focused on the revenue. I
Okay.
thought like this is more important to get like more uh just like
Mm-hmm.
more users. And yeah, so but yeah, from my like as I remember, it was still pretty linear. Like
Mm-hmm.
people just started to come by and then they started to like subscribe.
And
And
yeah,
they also kind of had a bunch of people who were using it like oh, sorry.
yeah. So you had like
Um, I also kind of had a bunch of users. Sorry, we're like
yeah. It's
not in
like
sync, I
mixing
think,
up. Hey,
in
continue,
internet.
please continue.
Okay. So I introduced subscriptions in 2023, right? I already had some users, also not that many. So I had to convert them into like subs kind of maybe premium users since I was like basically cutting out some features that were previously and now they become like paid. So for those people, I just like give them like free coupons so they could like continue to use the app as before. I think that's fair. And that was like I think about like 50 people that I
Mm-hmm.
had, like 50 users that I had back then.
Continue.
Um, yeah, so I had some initial kind of cohort of like free premium users. Um, but after that, yeah, like everything after that was kind of paid and it grew pretty linearly.
It's interesting because I see
I didn't
many
have
people.
like huge spikes or something or like
This is so interesting because I see many people like who make like apps they share is just that, right? But when you look on the application they made, it wasn't even like kind of like unique, or they didn't fix the specific issue of the people they were like searching for. That you had actually like problem people had, that a lot of the apps were kind of like surface level, and you just like gave something more complex for them, something more advanced they could use. And also with the very good design, also the web looks great, you have like community, so you have like this whole ecosystem that's like supporting the app, right? It's not just like vibe coded through cursor or something in 2 days, and there is like a lot of depth in it. And my next question is like, which like does the iOS bring most of the money or the Google Play for you?
about 50-50. But I
50-50.
advertise in Google Play more.
Or you advertise Google Play more comparing to iOS?
Yep.
Okay. And based on what you decide what to charge, it was just because of the competition when you looked how much they are charging?
Yep.
Okay. And also, what is the influx of new users? Is it also gradually increasing that, like, let's say not only the active right now on monthly basis, but those who are like first time downloading the app?
I don't know. Well, I think I know the retention is about like if you look into the retention number on App Store um, dashboard, I think it's 83%, which is I think pretty high. Um, but yeah, I have influx of new users. Of course, some people will kind of drop out. But like the net, I think about 200 to 300 a month,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like
and
new
it's
active
like steadily
users.
growing. Yeah.
Oh, that's
No. Yeah. New active users.
okay, that's very good. And primarily it's then organic, if I'm not mistaken. It goes
Hmm.
from the Reddit, etc. People like share it.
Yeah, and also I think a lot of is word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
just like offline, because like I, s- I again I don't have a very hard data on that, but like anecdotally, a lot of people like saying, "Oh, I recommended this to my wife, or I recommended this to my gym buddy," uh, I recommend it like to my gym circle, like that of friends
Uh-huh.
that we kind of go to gym together. But yeah, no idea like how prominent it is.
And do you have like certain kind of like costs with it? Because okay, maybe you have to do the updates that you are communicating as a support on Reddit, they're planning the marketing. Like, what are the other costs you have with it or no?
Okay, so you're saying that design is great, right?
Mm-hmm.
So design was not always great. Initially,
Mm-hmm.
it was basically the app that was at the very beginning and the app you see right now are pretty much two different apps. It
Okay.
changed so much over those like 5 years, or like even over those 2 years after I kind of started to get serious about it, the design changed drastically. All these like dinosaurs, etc., that you cutie dinosaurs that you see right now in the app, they were pretty new. So I
Okay.
have a so I have a designer that started to help me around the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So and I kind of pretty much redesigning the app starting from 2000, like beginning of 2025, and now it looks way better than it was before. But now I have a designer, so there are some. So I need to pay designer
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, and then I need to pay for Google Ads. I need to pay for some like tools, like hosting. Everything is on AWS, but it's not that much. I think it's about $70 per month that I pay for like the whole infrastructure. But also I need to like pay for um, some kind of AI tools, right? ChatGPT kind of subscription, Claude
Yeah, yeah.
subscription. Um, so all that stuff kind of combines, I think, about 1,500
Okay.
together, like 15 to 2,000. So basically, my net is about like $3,000, I think.
Okay. So up to 2K you have like expenses right now
Yep.
on
Yep.
monthly basis?
hmm
Okay, but you had it also before the designer like that?
No, so before the designer, it was different, right? So at some point, I decided, oh, I want to try SEO. So I bought this like SEMrush, and I was
Ah,
paying
okay.
like for it. And I tried like different tools, so I was like also paying for them. But yeah, I think overall, like generally, it was like from $1 to $2,000 per month, on average.
Okay, 1 to 2,000, and so you're like a lot of time on a zero. No, then because it wasn't still making 5K, so you always took some kind of profit from the app, or you kind of like reinvested to explore new stuff, how you can make money, or like how you can increase the
Well,
people.
yeah, frankly, kind of the app is not my main source of income. My main source of
Hmm.
income is still kind of my main job, right? Um, so the money is just like still like all the money I get, I'm kind of going to reinvest back into the app.
Hmm. And did you see the increase of, let's say, users or increase of conversion when you got the new design?
Uh, it's hard to say. People were more, of course, like definitely more happy when I kind of released all those updates. I don't know if it reflected that much on the actual kind of growth of the
Hmm.
app. I think kind of for the growth, it still kind of needs to be some marketing push or
Hmm.
marketing effort. It's just not
Hmm.
gonna organically happen just because you redesigned something, unless you have
Hmm.
a humongous user base. And then yeah, like you can track sessions and like if you did like a shit design decision, then you will see like drop in sessions, for example. But I'm not at that stage yet, right? So whatever I change, it will not unless I do something catastrophical, or like yeah, even if I do something amazing, it will not kind of skyrocket the growth. I still need
Okay.
like to do some marketing push.
So my next question is if the designer was also changing the front end, or because the back end was all made by you and also the front end before and with the design. So he changed only, let's say, the pictures on Google Play iOS with logo, or also something with the functionality of the front end.
No, they provide the Figmas. So they wrote like screen designs in Figma, like a lot of them, and I was just like implementing what she redesigned.
Okay, and what is kind of like your experience when you launched it also on iOS and Apple Store? Like if you had kind of like issues, because I heard that you need like testers to get it on Google Play. And what was your experience?
That was after launched. So
Ah, okay.
fortunately, I didn't have like 20 people to test my app, at least on Google Play. So on Google Play, the launch was pretty easy. I didn't encounter any issues like at all. On App Store, I was really worrying since my app is essentially like a web app,
Mm-hmm.
that they're gonna just reject it because of that. Um, but yeah, they didn't really kind of care. I think they provided, so they rejected, of course, the first time. There's a bunch of things that I need to fix. There was something about the sign in with Apple. I think I was using the wrong language around that button. It should be like specifically set like Apple sign in or sign in with Apple, like a very specific wordage that you have to use. Also, they had some feedback about the like the paywall, that some text that I need to place there, some like privacy policy in terms of condition, all that stuff, and how it should look like. So mostly not specifically to the app functionality, but all those like auxiliary kind of things, like terms and conditions, like use this wordage, not that wordage,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
So they were more
So once I
strict.
fixed that, they were stricter, but also not super like unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So they just gave me a bunch of feedback. I fixed that feedback and was like, all right, this is great. Published.
Okay, and do you see kind of like the different maybe like kind of behavior in the app? Maybe I don't know if you can track it or if you perceive it in kind of like the Google Play and iOS, how people behave on the app, or you don't track it at all.
I track pretty carefully all the things that happening inside the app,
Mm-hmm.
mostly for debugging purposes, because if something doesn't work, I need to know what the user did before it stopped to work.
Okay.
Um, but like I don't see any differences like in usage. People just like, I don't know, log workouts.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And like maybe I don't know, like if you perceive what are the most popular things they write there, or something that you can like pre-create a template for them, or if you track these kind of things there, or no at all.
I don't think it's really correlated to the platform they use.
Okay.
It's more correlating to the like experience as a kind of gym goers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a bunch of people who are like newbies and they usually like take some off the shelf program and just use it. I also have like some really hardcore gym goers that they really like to control what they do and like tweak their programs and really kind of invest into them and spent like maybe a really lot of time in the program editor where you could like they tweak every little thingy in their programs and see how it's like reflected in the volume group, sorry, like weekly volume per muscle
Mm-hmm.
group and all that stuff. Um, so that's another cohort, right? There's also another cohort since it's like kind of a nerdy app, right? Because like you
Yeah,
can
it
code
is.
in it, you can
Yeah,
like
it
write
is.
scripts and stuff. So it attracts people who are into lifting, but also into like IT, or like software engineers, or just like people who are familiar with coding. So they also enjoy that a lot. But this is like completely irrelevant to the platform. Just
Yeah,
like
but it's
there's
yeah, yeah, continue, sorry.
like some separate cohorts of people, and they have their own kind of behaviors and stuff.
But it's very interesting that you can like combine these kind of like two groups, right? That many people are focusing only on, let's say, those who go to gym, let's say, those who want to exercise, lose weight. But you kind of like, because what I perceive that you are also software engineer, that you kind of like you understand both minds, right? That you understand the mind of the person who wants to go and exercise because you had your own in a garage, and also the mind of the software engineer, and kind of like combine those two, and therefore you have your own specific target audience in a way that wasn't targeted
Yeah,
by anyone.
yeah, it's kind of easy to get myself into those shoes, right?
Yeah,
Because I am that person.
Yeah, exactly. That what I always remember, that you build it first for yourself, for
Yeah.
to kind of like solve your own issues with it, and then it helps others too. And you just like build and
Yep.
build and build. And I had also
Yep.
the question regard costs. So when you say about like it's 2K right now, could you just like give the percentage of when it's like 2K? I don't know, like 10%, like 50% is this, 30% is that. Like what is the highest right now cost for maintaining the app?
Like I did, about 50% is a designer, and the rest is like I'm basically maybe 25% like different hosting
Hmm.
things. So Cloudflare, Netlify, AWS, um, and maybe like another 50% is maybe less. Some AI tools, so
Hmm.
Claude, ChatGPT. I also still have some things like I need to pay for like just maintaining a business, right?
Hmm.
So the franchise tax, the what is called? Forgot. There's like a tax that I need to pay in Texas.
Okay.
Also, my company is registered in Delaware, um, but I need to like pay it because I'm doing a business in Texas or something like that.
Hmm.
So all those like random things is
They just
kind
like
of
adds
you need
up.
to pay for. Yeah,
And also accounting, right? It's like you have to have like invoices or stuff, no? Like
not
accounting that,
really.
no?
No, at least in the US, you can like so I have it as a LLC,
Hmm.
right? It's limited liability corporation. Um, and since like I'm a kind of a single owner and basically the single person who's working, I can add all that stuff into my tax return and file it together.
Okay.
So kind of I'm already paying like an accountant for my like tax return, right? So kind of
Uh,
they just like add it to my kind of personal tax return.
okay. And also for the revenue, do you have yes, because you have the optional strategy, but do you run some kind of like notifications for people? Or maybe
Mm-mm.
that you're thinking about adding more kind of features behind the paywall or something like that. Are you thinking about that?
Yeah. So for the more like I need to solidify, I guess, my premium features because like I think there could be like done more for graphs,
Mm-hmm.
make them more powerful, more like flexible. Uh, Another big paid feature that I think you're gonna have in future is Apple Watch support.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is like the most requested feature right now.
Oh, like using for
Everybody
watch.
wants like yeah, using yeah, so you could like log your workouts on the watch.
But that's from the primarily iOS users, no?
Uh, this is the most requested one. After that, this dark mode. Like they have this Wear OS,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, majority of people who was asking for a watch, this is like iPhone and Apple Watch users.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, like basically the main feature, the main requested feature is Apple Watch. After that, the dark mode, but dark mode I probably will not do it like as a paid one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be like still free. Yeah, something like that, I guess. I don't want to basically make it a lot of apps, workout apps, what they do, they basically limit like how many workouts you can log um, on free, and then you have to like buy. I don't like this strategy. I think kind of like for a long time, and I think it's gonna continue. My, I guess, kind of the main idea, what should be open, what should be paid, is like if you could do this in Google Spreadsheets probably should be free. So whatever, like if you like can add like log a workout in like a Google spreadsheet, you could still do it for free in the app. Like all the niceries, like for example, push notifications or like Apple Watch support, right? So you cannot do that on Google Sheets. Then
Mm-hmm.
it's premium.
Okay, so something that takes more work is like it's kind of like
Yeah.
advanced thing. It's asking money for you because it's actually took work and thinking and strategizing and programming and all of that. But in a moment when it's like very simple thing, you just like give it for free.
Yeah. Well, all the programming part is you could argue that this is very complex and also
Yeah, yeah,
free.
it's true. It's
Uh,
true.
but like all the kind of niceties, like
Niceties,
the
yeah, yeah,
things
yeah.
that you can live without them, but it's nice to have them.
And now for the community. Is that you have only Reddit, right? You don't have any email
And
list.
Discord.
Discord also.
Hmm.
So combination. And how much time you actually spend there on Discord or on Reddit?
Uh, you mean comparatively to each other or
No,
combined?
combine. Let's say combine on both.
1 to 2 hours a day, I think.
Okay, so 1 to 2 hours, you're just like there, but it's not like it's you're just gonna get notification, right, or something like that, and then you're like writing.
Yeah,
Or
usually kind of people complain that something is not working or they need help.
mm-hmm,
So, and I just jump in and help them.
mm-hmm.
But like over the time, there's like for example, on subreddit, on Discord, uh, I created this channel called just like weightlifting, and people just like hang out there and
Okay.
answer questions generally about weightlifting. And there are some people who are way more experienced than me about like weightlifting and stuff. So they just like volunteer and help some newbies there, which is also nice. Or just chat about like weightlifting in general.
So in a way, you also create a community
Yeah,
for the weightlifting. That's very good because like you have people not only like using your app, but even having this kind of like space with others where they can talk and with each other. So it's not kind of lonely, right? That they just
yeah.
right now have the community. It's a big thing for even the
And this is
conversion.
like and this is a huge deal. I mean, one of the things that gives me like, I guess, strength to continue is it's kind of nice that you have people you can talk to, you can ask
Hmm.
them.
Hmm.
Like, for example, I usually when I like was redesigning the app this year, so I start with like, so my designer, she created my bunch of designs. I just like basically create a post on Reddit and also in Discord. I was like, this is gonna be the new design. What do you think about it? Like, yeah or nay? Uh, any pros or cons? Like, or what do you think? And I collect the feedback, and then I send back to the designer. Designer will kind of incorporate it, like, and then kind of we start implementing it. This is like so fun. You're just like, what do you think about this thing? Or they also kind of come by with like a feature ideas or things like, oh, I want to do it in this way or something like that. So they usually kind of users is actually kind of the main driver for like any redesigns.
So it's in a way that they are part of the development in a way.
Yeah, I have like some kind of power users. So there's like right again cohorts. There are some power users who I already know like by names or at least like their Discord handles, and they like they're super helpful and they kind of provide me constant feedback and I can just like some bounce out some ideas out of them. Um, and this is great. Yeah, like kind of like my friends that I could just like talk some ideas with.
Okay, and the requests. Do you have like a kind of like the channel on Discord or on Reddit where they can like ask for the requests, or it's within the app? How do you handle it?
I usually just collect the feedback. Like they just like out of the blue, right? Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
want this or I want that. Um, and there's also I created a GitHub, like a place where you could like just post your ideas there and vote for them. And this is where I know, like, for example, that the Apple Watch is the most requested because it
Mm-hmm.
has like 80 or like 90 votes or something like that there for it. And you could sort by votes there. So yeah, this is kind of main things. I just like ad hoc collecting them from Reddit and Discord, and I also have this GitHub place where you could like post your idea.
Okay, and do you have some kind of like the insights that kind of like surprised you from the reviews or like what they wanted? They didn't expect that when you were like making the app, developing it, that they would actually like it there.
Mm, mostly it's kind of very logical, right?
Mm-hmm.
When people are asking something, it makes sense that they want that. Uh, I guess there were like some things that I didn't really know about and that's like learned over time. Like for example, that how people track. So how people track RPE. It's always forget what's the abbreviation for it. Something basically this is like the effort that you need to apply to do some set. Like for example, it says like if you need to do a set with like 8 reps, 100 pounds with RPE 8, it means you need to do that, but like you need to make sure you have about 2 reps in the tank when you're finishing kind of the set. So this is apparently a huge thing in especially like a bodybuilding community, less in kind of strength and like or powerlifting, but more in bodybuilding. So a lot of programs require that, and a lot of people actually kind of tracking that. I didn't know they sometimes people don't even track like or don't even prescribe the weight. They just basically go by RP completely and figure out like the weight uh, right in the gym. Also, I was surprised that a lot of people kind of, when I just started to do all that stuff, I thought everybody's like following some program, like I
Hmm.
did with like strong lifts. But apparently, a lot of people just like don't. And just like they actually need a logger and they got used to having a logger, but they just like go to the gym and like, do whatever and just like log what they did without like following like a some rigid program. Uh, I was really kind of maybe this is like my little bubble, but I thought most people kind of because again I'm like so uh I was like so into like this Reddit and fitness subreddits and stuff where everybody's like doing some structured workouts, but in reality people actually don't. And that was also surprising. The people just like I just don't want to do anything. I just like want to do ad hoc workouts, so I had to add like ad hoc workouts for them.
So they
Um,
go to gym without a plan?
yeah, just like do whatever. Um,
So,
and that's also, I mean, this is also great. Like whatever you're doing, like just don't sit on the couch. Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
but it's like because
um,
I train with a coach, so I have a trainer that I
mm,
get like everything is prepared for me what I'm going to do to be because the technicality is also very important how you actually like exercising and with the right
yep,
weight if you slept like all those things are very important and because like when you get actually like into it you know how important all those things are and so actually hear that you have like users who come to the gym and they're like, yeah, I'm going to gym, but yeah, it's of course better than to just watch the TV. But they come to the gym and they're like, yeah, I'm going to exercise on that. I'm going to insane. That's so crazy.
yeah. Also, like I was really surprised that for many gyms, the equipment is so mix and match. So they have equipment with like dumbbells in kilograms, but all the machines are in pounds.
Wow,
And the
huh?
increments for like machines are in a very weird way. For example, somebody like took a picture with a machine, like the cable machine, and the increments were like 9.8 pounds or something. And this goes 9.8 and then like what, 18 point something. Why?
It's so random,
Um,
right? So,
yeah. And they were like, especially like, and sometimes you can also add stuff like to kind of micro increment those like cable weights. And it was like, how are you gonna do that in the app? So I need to design kind of because like I have a very rigid equipment system, so that it would convert basically the weights that I have in the program, which could be like in some weird pounds or in percentage of your 1 rep max into actual weights that you could do in the gym, ideally automatically, right? Because
mhm.
like it follows the program. So I have this like equipment settings, and based on the equipment settings, it will kind of convert into like the weight according to the plates you have, the machines you use, etc. And all those machines that have like very weird weight increments with like a real head scratch how to uh, actually incorporate this in the app.
Interesting. And also, I forgot to ask this question. So, if you can share, like per year, how much revenue it generated? So, 2023, because I know it got launched 2020, but it didn't make any money until you put it on Google Play and iOS
Hmm.
Store. So, let's go with how much it made 2023, 24, and right now 25.
So I don't remember. And 20 in 23, I think it was few thousands, like 5 or 4. So it was actually kind of net negative.
So about 2K
Uh,
it made, about 2000.
I think
Or
a little bit more, maybe like 4 or 5 thousand in
okay.
2023. But I spent way more, so I was like net negative on that. And then in 2024, I think it was about 30,000 or 20 something. 20, I think it's like 25 or something like that. And 2025, I guess we'll see. But so far it was like, I think at the beginning of the year it was about 3,000 per month. Now it's closing closer to 5,000 per month.
Okay. And what was the reason for the jump from the 3K to 5K? Only because the linear increase? Because there were like
Yeah.
more, only because of that. No change.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
That's
it's very linearly kind of growing. But
it.
also I don't do like I'm frankly we talk here about a lot about marketing, right? I
Mhm.
don't do much marketing, frankly. Like compared to like development, I do a lot of development. My app changes a lot. Like again, like from 2023 to what it looks like right now, it's pretty much two different apps. Um, I changed completely kind of how the programs work, changed completely the Lifto script, like the internal
Mhm.
language. And it was like also a big hassle or like big, I mean, big problem how to convert people and from like older programs to the new programs and not
Okay.
lose them in the moment. Um, yeah, what I was saying. Yeah, basically kind of this maintenance, I think, frankly, kind of one of my proudest I guess moments or like proud the things I'm most proud of is that I figured out how to do a mechanism that where I can constantly change the app without losing the users and like without basically interrupting because this is extremely important. Well, not always works very smoothly. Sometimes there are hiccups, but I think this is like extremely important because you're like constantly developing, right?
Mhm.
Your features. You don't want like your old users to kind of lose something or like basically have bad experience, you need to smoothly upgrade them to the kind of all the new features or new changes that you're making. Especially kind of, I mean, this is probably kind of the reality of the fitness app because you're using it for a very long time, right? There are like a bunch of apps when you use it like just one time. Like for example, I don't know, PDF scanner. You
Mhm.
basically download the
Yeah.
app, you don't like scan the PDF, you have it in text, you forget about you paid maybe like $5 and you're done. But here you're using it like few times a week um, for like I don't know 2 years you accumulated like 500 workouts there, you definitely not gonna don't want to lose them. So kind of maintainability is very important.
I remember the apps that I was like using in the past, and on day to day they like changed the design. They changed like front end completely, right? And the same thing with the how it operates. It was like complete new app with the old name and
Hmm.
everything. And I was so lost there. I even like stopped using it because it felt frustrating for me that this kind of like this jump. It was like a shock for me to use something. So like what I perceived the huge thing for you was like you're continually developing the product. So it's not like that
Hmm.
you would like push it on Google Play, like, yeah, I'm going to be millionaire now. But you're like on monthly basis. I don't know. Okay, so how much you're actually working on, let's say, weekly basis on the app? If you can like kind of
It's kind of hard to basically I'm spending pretty much every free second that I have on the app. I also have family and I have a main job, so I don't have that many free seconds.
so when you can get the
uh,
time, this is like the hobby of yours, like side project, right?
yep,
And do you have also like different side projects, or you right now investing only into this?
no, this one.
Only this one, it'd be like too overwhelming. So because
Yeah.
also see people that are like discussing that, like jumping from project to project, and if it's not just like better to invest to one project and go heavy into it when you see the perspective, like same thing that it will be completely different. So if you would be like 1 year in, you're still developing stuff and you have still zero users. Of course, there will be like completely different if right now that you see that you're making changes, you are developing the product, but also the it's increasing. You have the community increasing, so it's like everything is working for you in a way, but only because that you are putting the work continually, and people like that.
Yeah, I mean, some people, again, like as you said, it's completely like always changing,
Yeah,
and for some people, it's probably like I know for some people it's frustrating. Uh, but I guess kind of my goal is frankly, my main goal is not to kind of become like a millionaire out of this. Uh, my main goal is to make the best weightlifting app. And the problem with that, I don't know what is the best weightlifting app. So my knowledge constantly updates or like, oh, I had this idea. Like, for example, there was like this language, right? LiftOscript. It was completely different before. It was just like essentially like a long form where you could like fill in different things. And then it converted into like a that you can write the whole program like as a plain text. So basically, my vision completely changes. Like, oh, this is great, or this is like not working. And my people, like my users, they kind of maybe some of them kind of struggle because of that, because they're constantly changing things. But I don't know. This is like what maybe kind of drives me forward is that I just like a nature of it. I want to figure out what is the best app, and it's just like sort of a kind of experimental project, frankly.
yeah.
I'm experimenting on it a bit, and I'm trying different things, and basically on live users.
Like from my own experience, when I was like starting out with YouTube channels, and I like create a lot of them in tutorials niche, I never
Mhm,
thought about money. You know, it was all about like how I can make like the videos, how I can make more videos, better videos. It was already
mhm,
exactly so like in a way experiment that you are playing with it, that you are kind of like dancing. I don't know different word, but in Taoism there is like Wu Wei, that you're like kind of like doing the thing, but there is no kind of like this that I need to make it. I need to,
mhm,
you know, it needs to make me 10K a month because there is like pressure. And then there is this kind of like it, I can feel that when there is kind of like the
mhm,
pressure behind it, and it can be even felt within the product, at least from my own experience, and then I don't want to use it. So I got like for the past last questions is that what would you do differently if starting again? Would you change something?
mhm. Well, now I know things that work and don't, right? Kind of a lot, well, not well, but at least like I know at this point, I probably know where to invest to make it grow more. Like, for example, the YouTube, I assume it's going to be pretty successful strategy. Partnerships with like influencers is a successful strategy, probably. And also, I assume that affiliate program also going to be a pretty successful one, which I want to also try it out because I kind of see it's already happening naturally. So, long story, okay, sorry, like maybe a little bit off topic, but so there's an app called RP Hypertrophy.
Okay.
So this app is made with a very famous um, fitness influencer. I think Dr. Mike Israetel.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And they're charging pretty much like $30 a month, or I think $200 a year. So it's pretty expensive. So there's a guy who discovered my app, and then he recreated basically the logic of this RP hypertrophy. Since you can script everything in liftosaur, he recreated all logic of that RP hypertrophy app in liftoscript, and then just like published it for free. Um, so I don't think he's doing something bad because he basically just like I don't know, like just checked how that app worked and just like implemented it, right?
Yeah.
But that program became very like popular because people want to do something like that, but they don't want to pay like $200 a year for it. So and like a lot of people are coming to Lifta store because they found his program on Reddit and decided to try it
Ah.
out. And for that, they installed liftosaur. So my hope that um, if I kind of do the affiliate program and basically use the same idea.
Okay, we're back.
Cool. So yeah, basically do the affiliate program, right? When you if like you can share a program like with the link right now
Yeah.
in LiftoScript. So if somebody kind of downloads your program, adds to the app, and then buys the subscription, then pay, for example, 20% of their kind of the revenue to the person who created the program. Like if that's monthly, they will get like, I don't know, $1 monthly from each user. If it's like lifetime, they will get like $20 as a bulk sum.
Yeah, I was working with a lot of like companies for the affiliate program, and I made them like a lot of money. And from my own experience, in the moment when you can have like a recurring commission for the people, like let's say that when someone is going to sign up under them, they're gonna have
Mhm,
like 15%, or like you're gonna have a little bit less commission. Like exactly for $5 a month, they're gonna get $1, and they're gonna have it lifetime. Like until,
mhm,
and this is like huge motivation also for influencer and for the other people like sharing it, because they just like do the calculation. Like if I'm going to get like 200 people in the app, they're like also then they started the strategizing of like what they can do. And the same thing with
mhm,
the also with the lifetime, exactly like 20 $30. And that's a great thing to do, because like you have the referrals, and now they are going to still recommend it, but this is kind of this incentive, or kind of like the motivation even more for them. And it's not going to
mhm.
even cost too much, because it can provide you more users, because they can start like
Yep.
posting on Instagram, etc., because they're just gonna have like good commission. So
Mhm.
so for the question, is like something that you would do differently if you would be starting out right now building it, let's say,
Um,
with this
well,
knowledge?
I wouldn't build it probably as a web app.
Mm-hmm.
That was like I just kind of fooling around, I guess, and decided to build it for myself. And then it was like kind of how to migrate. At some point, I decided, okay, yeah, I'm gonna migrate it to React Native and do fully native. But again, the app already is pretty big. It's about like 100,000 lines of code. Uh, and it's just like really hard to convert it into like a different framework.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's actually better now with like all the AI tools, which maybe can do a good job with converting. I haven't tried that, but yeah, I would probably start more native than I am right now, because this is really limiting. I cannot really do kind of good animations. It's all kind of has this feel of like a web app still,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, which is annoying. Yeah, so yeah, focus on that, I guess. Focus on more on native. What else? There's like a lot of talk within like indie community to basically start marketing even before you like have anything to show,
Mm-hmm.
right? Collecting the wish list and stuff. I think it's a great idea, but like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't still do that, like, because I don't have that much audience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's easier to build the audience when you have something like talk about, like I have a product, at least for me. But like, I guess what would be nice is to maybe get some interest before even like releasing the first version of the app. Um, that would be, I guess, thing would be nice to do. Like if I do it differently. What else? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say right now. I think a lot of things like I did, they were still good because they were learnings,
Yeah.
and I kind of know, oh, I did this and it didn't work, or I did that and it worked. Um, it's still need to do like some, I don't know, hit some road bumps on the way. Yeah. So I guess sorry, probably shitty answer.
Yeah, it's
But I
good. It's
guess
good.
besides going like straight to native and not like bother, web probably should be a kind of. It's important that I have a web editor because, like, again, if you want something like to code, it's easier to do if you have a keyboard. Um, but like making a web app is a really bad idea.
Yeah,
Make it
of
native.
course, it really depends on the application, what they are building. But primarily for those people who go to gym, they're not going there with the laptops. So it's like, and
Yeah.
exactly, it's like, maybe it will be different if you would be like building in Flutter, for example. I don't know if that's the right word for the coding, where you can have the web app and also for the iOS that you can have it for all these things that That I don't
Yep.
know that they will be different because like when you're building with the different language there, that kind of like limited, you know?
Well, you can do React Native. I'm good with React, so React Native is a obvious choice, and you can also do web and both iOS and Android,
Hmm.
and it's pretty close to native. I mean, it's basically like a JavaScript like engine that converts everything into like native UIs and stuff. So you can do a pretty smooth animations. But people really kind of the thing I didn't really understand before for some reason. I guess this is also kind of an engineering mindset, but good design really matters, and all
Hmm.
those like smooth animations they really matter.
Yeah.
Apparently, you cannot really like do some shit and expect people to like it.
Yep.
So it's important, and for some reason I didn't really understand at the beginning. So the app was shit for a while, and then before I actually kind of get serious about the design, I started to invest into design.
But when, like, from your own perspective, were the designs good in the moment when it got pushed on Google Play and iOS, or it was
No, of
still
course not.
it was bad? But even then, it still started getting users and it started to
Yeah,
make money. That's really fascinating
yeah,
because the product itself was selling. Then it was like really good.
yeah. And also the learning curve was even worse than now.
Yeah,
But people for some reason still kind of
yeah.
decided to try it out.
I really think that if you start making the guides on YouTube, because I see that mm, like the retention is going to be way better, and also with combination with the affiliates, and it doesn't cost much. Like making video, like when you know how to use it, and you know it, and then you like if you'll be also doing the comparison with other tools, right there you can actually like explain the differences. What you see is like okay, you know
Hmm.
the kind of like this app is very good for beginners but my app is for more advanced if you want to go further even. And you can like
Yep.
explain. And in that way, like I see it because it's evergreen, right? People are going to search for it. I get like videos earning me money from 4 years back. And you could
Hmm.
get like customers even from it because the it's not like every single week the new app would be like launching, you know, for it takes time. So this is like a great thing that you could do from my own at least experience. And also, so how do you manage updates and maintenance now? Do you just like do it on daily basis or the
Yeah,
updates for the app? Yeah.
pretty much. Well, a good thing this is a web app, right? So I can push kind of changes pretty much instantly to everybody. Um, the app works that it kind of it doesn't really try to load the latest HTML and JavaScript. It loads the previous version that I have cached because I wanted to work in the offline as well and load fast. But in background, it will get like the new update. So the next time people launch the app, it will get the new version. So they always kind of one version behind, which is fine, but maybe a little bit harder to manage kind of the long tail of like old clients. Um, Maintenance. So like I have a lot of support, and I think it's like one thing I'm really proud of is that I think I kind of more or less managed making it pretty easy to debug the app, which is super important, especially kind of for long running apps like mine, like that you use like over and over and over again. Hmm. Basically, so I have the kind of the error collector. Basically, whenever the exception happens somewhere, and your app crashes or like white screens or something like that, I get the error, and then I can load that error, and I can restore the state of the app
Okay.
exactly where like the user kind of had the issue, and I saw the previous steps that they did before the issue happened, so I can reproduce it like that and then kind of fix the issue. So this is great. I have all those like migrating mechanisms because like the internal state of the app it changes because like when I'm adding new features or something, I need to change kind of the internal state. But every single app they have their own state, and it could be like outdated, it could be old. So I need a mechanism to migrate them to the new versions of the app, and new kind of basically migrate their data to the new shape. Um, so I have all those mechanisms for that. I have a very serious like logging mechanisms that even if the people were offline, or didn't have a stable connection, then they got off online again. I still have a very reliable logs, what they clicked and what they did in the app. So I
Continue.
could like, yeah, so I could like kind of again restore their steps and fix the issue. Because like support essentially kind of taking the majority of my I guess communication with users. So every single day I wake up, I have like 3 or 4 messages like, oh, something is not working or something. I don't know how to do that in Discord or on Reddit. So I kind of get myself coffee, go respond to everybody, and then go like do the kind of the main work. After the main work, I go to gym, usually like 3 4 times a week, and then I back, and then I respond again to more kind of questions in Discord and Reddit. Maybe like do some coding, and that's it. Essentially, kind of this is my day-to-day life.
Yeah, but it's like we can see here that if someone would like to do something with, let's say, no code or wipe code, and they would make it, would like to make it successful, it's like how much actually work it takes to make it good, right? It's like, yes, you someone can get lucky and get viral, and it's like make it, or they're gonna have like the static thing I know, and they just like everything pre-created, and just like it just makes money for them, but it's a completely different talk when you want to actually work on it and give it updates. And also, I don't know how often also the Google Play or iOS is asking you to do changes within the app. Does it?
Not that not that often. Basically, whenever I need to, oh, I mean, like when they ask to update
Yeah,
like some APIs or something,
yeah.
not super often. I mean, probably like once a year,
Okay.
mostly from Google, frankly. They were like, "Oh, we're deprecating this thing. You have like till I don't know August 26th to fix this." Like, all right. So the time ranges are very reasonable usually.
Okay, so I have got last two questions. Like, what are the next steps for the app? And we
hmm
mentioned that you want to maybe do the referral, that maybe with the
hmm
YouTube videos, and do you have something else there for the app?
Yeah. So for next things, for development, I need to finish the redesign. Um, and I think the next part going to be the dark mode. This is like one of the most often asked things. And then I need to implement the referral system. For that, I need basically the hardest part is to track essentially kind of if user imported this program from that user, and then I need to track all the purchases they made so I could like attribute it to their program owner.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
so I need to implement that. And then yes, so after the redesign, even before the dark mode, I'm gonna start to do the education videos because yeah, people don't really know how to use the app. And one thing too that I did, I think that helped a lot. So I wrote a lot of documentation in Markdown, and then I created this like basically ChatGPT prompt generator.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like in a form, you can like type your question like, I want to implement this app, I want to behave it this way. Uh, Please implement it for me. And then you click generate prompt, and it generates humongous prompt with all the documentation, different like program examples and how would implement them. Really kind of almost like I think half a megabyte of like size. And then you can like copy paste it to ChatGPT, for example, and given with like that prompt, it will help you with like all the questions about the app or implementing this program in LiftoScript. And it doesn't cost me anything because it's kind of like on the user, right? They just like gonna use the AI tool of their choice to do that. So this worked pretty nicely. Unfortunately, the prompt is so humongous, it will not fit into free models. Like you cannot use it like with free ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's kind of up it a little bit to reduce the support load because like now people can interrogate ChatGPT instead of me. um, yeah, so basically this referral program and yeah, educational videos because I hope this is going to just create a lot of content that could be used also for Instagram or I don't know TikTok. Also, I never had any success with them.
Yeah, it's like the what I perceive. This is my only experience. The person behaves completely different when they go to different platform. So when they come to TikTok, they act differently. They perceive content differently comparing to Instagram because many times it's like over aggressive. I have even like word like childish, right? It's like it's very a lot
Hmm.
of colors, a lot of emotions, music. I don't even use it because of it because it just feels bad for me at least. And my
Hmm.
experience is that the current version is completely different on the actually like just YouTube when people kind of like search for it, and even when you're gonna have the option that you would share it, okay, that you can use it, and if you have friends, I got like referral program, and there you just like again another motivation for people to like use it to share with others, and the retention can be so good then, even better right
Hmm.
now that when they can like learn, that can be so good. And
Yeah.
like what kind of advice would you give someone that like starting out, they got, for example, the development, they know how to make things and kind of like the idea, do you have some kind of like advice for them?
Um, you, I don't know. I think kind of the main thing, at least like for me, you need to enjoy this thing. Otherwise, you will not be able to do it like long term. So like I enjoy a lot basically pushing things, like creating new like features and stuff, and also kind of interacting with the community, like just kind of showing them, asking them, etc. I think you can find like things you like. Um, if you want to do this long term, right, you need to find something that you like in the process, because otherwise you will not do that at all, right? It's like very important to find motivation to do something, because if you don't have like motivation, you're just not gonna pursue it like at all. Your brain will like, oh no, let's do something else. So yeah, I think kind of this is like most important, that you need to find something that you enjoy in that, and you will enjoy for a long time.
Yeah, it's that's very important because well, at least my experience when I was trying to do projects that I didn't like and I have the motivation, I got like a very early burnout from it. It was
Hmm.
like why to even bother, it's like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, and it's like it should push you still, kind of, because like you're gonna have at least, well, likely, maybe not required, but likely you will not have a lot of success with it, especially kind of at the beginning, right? You're gonna post it, nobody gonna even read it, nobody gonna view it, not gonna watch it, not gonna nobody gonna watch your videos, but you need to like somehow do that more and more and again, even though like nobody seems to care.
Yeah. That's
Because
exactly like when there is like kind of the motivation for it, that you know it's right to
yeah,
do it. And you just
yeah.
know that you want to build it. And what I perceive is that there are kind of like the waves for it. I don't know how you perceive it, but for example, the market was completely different when you would like launch app for like 2018, 2019. I even read from people that you would put an app there and you would have like 200, 300 apps downloads daily for the app.
Hmm.
And it was like completely different, like same with blogging, like blogging in 2000, 2004, 5 was completely different comparing to right now when you write something and there's like AI answer from Google, so they're like crushing
Hmm.
right now the blogs. So even right here, so what I perceive is very important to even do the research for it, that kind of like I don't know, because you actually found that okay, like there wasn't something like this that you were building, no one made it, and that was like kind of your edge. But if you do like okay, I'm going to do another, it will be like the same thing like any other app. If you didn't give the edge there, what do you think
Hmm.
about that?
Yeah,
Oh,
it makes
oh,
sense.
yeah. But did you do any? Or did you just did the simple research for it, or did you make also more research? Did you kind of like analyze the apps?
Not really. Well, not in the beginning. I
Mm-hmm.
guess like when I decided to check what others are doing, it was like was slightly later. Before I was like, oh, I want to do it this way because I wanted to behave this way. But that was, I guess, in the beginning when I just started. When I already kind of started to sell it to other people, I was like, all right, how other apps operate? Let's check it out. And I checked it out, and I didn't like it because I kind of was already kind of got used to how my app is doing things, right? Like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, there was like no inputs for like weight and reps. It was like button, you tap it and that's it. If you need to change reps, you tap it a few times. But when I started to like release it, and people were like, this is not convenient. because they got used to how other apps do that. And I just like decided to switch to the same approach because I don't want like every single time you try to make people kind of change their habit or kind of change the way they kind of got used to like operate the app, it's going to be a hassle for them.
Mhm.
So you I don't know, it seems like you need to try to rely as much as possible on established patterns that people have already when they're using their phone, right? Like or they're using like a similar app, like all those swipes or all those like UI elements that are familiar and stuff. Kind of you still want to like maybe make your app look unique, but like maybe in the design perspective, but all the patterns should be familiar, so
Mhm.
people don't have to like relearn or like learn them for the first time ever.
Yeah, that makes sense to not like complete something new and you want to. Okay. Yeah, that's also. Thank you very much. This was like such a good talk.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for opportunity.
yeah, I'll just like stop recording right here